Hello, welcome to the Lowdown, the official show for Download Festival 2013, right here on Scuzz TV, or on YouTube if you're catching the repeat. I'm Bees, and on today's show we'll be joined by Bullet for My Valentine, who'll talk us through their lol-worthy history with Download Festival and answer your questions. And we chat to Craig Mabbitt from returning hard rockers Escape the Fate, top man. Plus, there's also your requests and shout-outs, the chance to win download tickets in the Downloads Big 10, music videos from bands on this year's lineup, What Would Bruce Do?
What would Bruce do?
Oh yeah, love that. Iron Maiden frontman Bruce Dickinson answering a bizarre question for your enjoyment. So, Download Festival takes place on June 14th to 16th. Weekend and day tickets are available now. Get over to downloadfestival.co.uk and buy yours so you're not at home boo-hooing while everyone else is having the best time in the history of the world ever. God, that was a lot of words, wasn't it? First up this week, they returned to the stage for the first time in ages last week in Brazil, and Download sees them return to the UK. This is the incredible Queens of the Stone Age with No One Knows. All right, we'll be returning after the break and chatting to Matt Moose from Bullet for My Valentine. But in the meantime, here's Cancer Bats with Sabotage. Keep an eye out for our old mate Liam Cormier on a future edition of the Lowdown. In the meantime, here's Sabotage. We'll be right back after the break with some Major League lols from Bullet for My Valentine. Stick about. Welcome back to the Lowdown, the official Download Festival show with me, Bees. Now, you can get over to the Download YouTube page to check out the past 2 weeks that we've done that's already featured interviews with Corey Taylor, Ent Shikari, Airborne, loads more. And in future episodes, we'll be hanging out with Jared from 30 Seconds to Mars, oh yes, Young Guns, Asking Alexandria, him, Cancer Bats, and hopefully a whole special dedicated to Iron Maiden. But as for right now, here's Matt and Moose talking about their long-running history with Download Festival. Bees on the Lowdown, I'm here with Moose and Matt from Bullet for My Valentine. How's life?
Life is great. Fantastic.
So we're going to talk all things Donington Park. When you first played, the very first Download that you played, was that even before the EP was out, or was the EP just out? Yeah, I thought it was before it was out.
Even like sign a record deal.
Mental.
So we were pretty much, we were technically on the same band, you know, so it was a mental situation.
Was it pinch me stuff?
Yeah, it still is now when we play it.
Oh, amazing.
Playing anything like that, of that kind of magnitude and reputation is always a good vibe, you know? Always just, because it is what it is, and you play and then you're off. It never seems like it's real anyways, so.
Like, I mean, I'm sure it's the same now, but like, especially for that first one, like, the couple of months run up to it, were you picking your set, like, in February?
We didn't really have like, many songs anyway.
Right.
I think we had four.
I think we had 4 songs and then just kind of jammed and wrote another like 3 or 4 like a few weeks before because we said, oh, we need some songs. Yeah.
Did any of those songs end up on either the first EP or the Poison?
I don't think anything played that didn't end up on anything.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's how much we blagged it.
Whoa! The YouTube footage exists of it.
Does it?
Does it really?
No, I said no. I was asking. Does it?
No, I don't think it does actually. No, that was like in 2004, so that didn't really. I don't think. I mean, the technology was there, obviously, but I don't think it was kind of that. Obviously,
yeah, prevalent. Yeah,
like everyone just kind of like filming.
Yeah.
So no, there may be something out there, but I've never seen anything. We do have a copy of the whole set actually, because we were filming it from behind the stage. I don't know where it is these days.
It's in your mum's.
It'll turn up.
My mum's.
It'll turn up on a Bullet DVD in like 6 years' time.
Yeah.
So have you felt like, I guess when you come back to Download as often as you do, can you see the growth of the band? Like each time you go back, it's like a bit more mental.
Pretty much. I mean, we've kind of got to the level now where we've played the same slot a couple of times.
Right.
So we've been underneath the headliner now like twice, right, on the main stage. We've headlined the second stage once. So it's just like we're kind of banging our heads against the ceiling at the minute. So you know,
like, come on.
It's just like we kind of know that somewhere down the line, hopefully, we might get an offer to do a headline slot.
Yeah.
You know, until that comes, we're happy where we are. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's a big. That feels like a lot of weight on our shoulders. So I don't think we're ready for it yet.
Right. Do you get nervous beforehand, or?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just something about that particular festival, and it's like home territory, and you know, it's the one festival of everywhere we play that we really want to shine. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people out there who like to hate, and we like to shove it down the.
Something always.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Something always up on
Yeah.
download.
Oh, really?
Every time we play Download, it's something like...
What's the most comedic one that's happened?
There was Jay's bass. That was Download, right?
Yeah, that was download. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, Jay's guitar tech, bless him. Sorry, Cal, I gotta tell you the story. He gave Jace the wrong bass. That rhymed. He gave him the wrong bass, basically, so it was the wrong tuning. And because the Monarch guy up too,
Right.
Jay had Padge's mix in his ears, and Padge had Jay's mix. So Jay couldn't really hear anything anyways, he was just relying on kind of muscle memory and just kind of jamming out. So the first note of the song came in was like 4 words, isn't it? And it's just a big open note. It was the wrong note completely, but he couldn't hear it. And I could hear it. And I think I ended up punching him in the ass.
If you look at the YouTube footage, as soon as that note hits, each member of the bullet go.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Yeah, so that wasn't a good one. So that day was, you just got to ignore it and carry on, but it's so frustrating when shit like that happens and it's not even our fault. It's like, oh, dudes, come on, man.
The second stage headline one, like on AC/DC Day, was that the first time you'd ever had pyro? Because it was the first time that I'd seen you with pyro, or had you had it prior?
In Download?
Yeah.
That's
yes, it was,
pyro,
yeah. We'd had it in Reading and Leeds, and we've had it on a bunch of headlines shows over the years.
Yeah.
That was the first Download pyro.
Do you do anything particularly special for Download?
At Download, we always put something special, something unique that we don't do in other festivals, yeah. Because we want it to be a little bit more special for us and for the people watching.
And is there anything special planned this year, or are we asking way too far in advance?
A little bit too far in advance, but we're up against Slipknot, so I don't know if there's any point.
No.
So we may as well just keep it completely simple and do our thing, and then let them just do their thing, because we're not going to be able to compete, really.
Do you do that when you got a festival bill? Do you look at who else is on and go, we'll have them, or I'm not so sure about them?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think that's just the natural competitive streak in anyone. The music world is cool. It's a nice big family, but there's still kind of competition there.
Yeah. And what's your favourite Download show that you've done so far?
I don't know.
Headline second stage for me.
Yeah.
But then when we did the Snicker stage, it was called the Snicker stage back in 2005. When the EP was out. That was a good one.
That was kind of a moment where we actually knew something was kicking off.
Right.
Because obviously we hadn't had an album out the year before, and then we were on the second stage and we had an EP out, and just kind of the reaction of just that like CD was just like, wow, okay, this is the real deal. Because the year before it just kind of felt like weird and like no one knew who we were or anything, and then 12 months later it was just like everything just exploded. So that was the most memorable one for me.
And when you get your tour itinerary, is it still the one on the list that you go, that's the one I'm looking forward to? It is, but due to the history and the nature of our performances at that festival, it's always when we ourselves too. We're just waiting for something to go wrong. That year in 2010 when we headlined the second stage, my guitar wouldn't stay in tune. For some unknown reason, the guitar would not stay in tune. So I ended up setting to just smash it out of it. So. Rabbit's feet all round then, prior to Download this year. Yeah, it's torture, but it shouldn't happen. It's never our fault either.
Nothing's really gone that bad for myself, so this next Download is all going to come to.
Oh really? It's going to go Spinal Tap, mate.
It's going to come spontaneous combust or whatever it's called.
Right, stick around for more from Bullet on the Lowdown later on, because they're going to be answering your questions. More from Bullet for My Valentine later on in the show, where they'll be back to answer your questions. Remember to check the Scuzz Facebook page to submit your questions. Only the best ones will make it onto the Lowdown, so don't go asking anything stupid. Right, time to give out some tickets. It's the Downloads Big 10. This week we asked you, if you were to join Slipknot, what would your mask be? 10 great answers, but only the number 1 can win a pair of tickets to this year's Download Festival. Number 10, Luke Howe says John Bon Jovi. Number 9, Cameron Sinclair Harris says your mum. Like it, old ones are the best. Number 8, Matt Roberts says a face without eyes for eyeless, always thinking, like it. 7, Colin James says an Alan Partridge mask so he can run about the stage shouting aha, can't knock it. Number 6, Ross Slavin says a horse mask and a mankini. Keep it yourself, mate. Number 8, Wayne Farquhar says a drum. I don't think they have enough drums yet. Good. Number 4, Mike Richer says Bees' face have stupid glasses. They're not stupid. I need him to see. Number 3, Neil Eddie Suchak says a giant mushroom, so I could be mushroom head. That's screw with people. Old school, solitaire unravelling. Number 2, Scott Cuxon says I don't need one. I'm ugly enough as it is. You butters, and you didn't quite win a pair of download tickets. But who did win a pair of tickets this week? Number 1, Rich Brown says Taylor Swift, as it's the only way I'm ever going to get to her. You disgust me, Rich Brown, but you've won a pair of download tickets. Right, that's it for part 2. Still to come, Bullet for My Valentine answer your questions. I find out what's been going on with Escape the Fate with Craig Mabbitt, plus what would Bruce do? Oh, yes. And of course, your shout-outs and requests. See you in 2/3 of 10 minutes. All right, welcome back to the Lowdown, the official Download Festival TV show. I'm Bees, and this is me shooting the shizzle with Escape the Fate's Craig Mabbitt. Have a look. Top geezer. Bees on the Lowdown with Craig from Escape the Fate.
What's up?
It feels like you've been away forever.
Yeah, forever.
Like, does it feel like that to you as
well? It definitely does feel that way. I was just talking to a buddy I know from out here. He's like, yeah, you guys were here almost going on 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I remember asking, you know, well, what's the status of the band? How's the stability? And I was like, it's pretty stable, but you never know.
Yeah, yeah.
And
you can't be too careful.
I did not know. Right. So, but it feels good to be back finally.
And record's done in the can.
Yes, done.
Like, what can
There's
you
a release date. We got a video out, so it's official.
What
finally.
Can you tell us about this record? And how is it Escape the Fate in the Escape the Fate that people know and love, or is there new elements?
It's definitely you know, we gained a lot of momentum off our This War Is Ours album, and the best way to describe this record is it's This War Is Ours after puberty.
Right.
It's like it's a little more mature, but it's got the same diversity that we like to have, and you know, we never like to stick to just one style. But I feel like this one coincides and it flows very well. So
it's weird. Like I feel like the world's more ready for Escape the Fate now because there's a lot more bands that are around that have kind of taken that rock and roll edge that the band's always had and kind of like made it run. Like we were talking about Asking Alexandria before we we started recording this. Like bands like that seem to have opened a bit of a door.
Love those guys, man.
So
them and I love what Black Veil Brides does too.
Oh, yeah, really?
You go to their show and it's a show, you know what I mean? I love when they walk in a room, there's a presence.
Controversial.
You know? Yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Like they got a tough ride at Download last year. They got a tough
I'm
ride.
sure they do, but
there's people at home going,
that's what
those guys.
I know, that's what rock and roll's all about.
Yeah,
people can say fuck those guys and they're like, you know, and they do it, and that's rock and roll right there, man.
And so, are you excited to get back on the road properly? Because I mean, I always think like it's funny. We had Airborne on the show a couple of weeks ago, and they've been in a similar position, like where not been able to hit the road as often as you want. Has it been a rough 18 months?
It's been probably the roughest 18 months of almost my life, man. I remember sitting there at home sometimes just depressed as shit, not knowing what I was gonna do. It was the most time off I've had since I was 16. That's when I started hitting the road and touring with my old band. Yeah. So to have that much time off when I was 25, I was like, oh my God, dude, I need to get out there.
Did you ever start panicking?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Did it feel like you could get to a day like this? Was it always? Did you always see a light at the end of the tunnel, or did the darkness shroud?
I kind of always had hope, and then when I had all that time off, I just flew out and worked on another project just to keep myself busy. Right. And so that worked out. And now finally, you know, here we are. So.
And Download Festival, reintroducing yourself to the UK on the grandest stage of them all. Was that the plan? Just to go hard or go home?
Yeah, pretty much. It's either, you know, hit it big. You know, just hit them right in the face as soon as you, right out the gate. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely excited to come do it again now that we're solid. You know, we got a stable lineup because the last time we played Download, we didn't even know if our bass player was still going to be in the band or not. So we had some guy filling in.
At the actual time?
The actual time, yeah. We had TJ, who's our bass player now, was just still filling in for us. Right. So we're like, what's up, Download? And we were just releasing a new record, and that Interscope, the label stuff was happening. Yeah. And it was just bad. We weren't in a good spot. So to play a show as great as Download, but you're not mentally there, is just, you know, it's a bummer.
But this time, it feels ready. And first and foremost, when we were talking about coming back on a big stage, Escape the Fate have always come across like a band that are built for that kind of thing, for like grandiose stage, like big stage presence, rock and roll vibes. Is that what makes Download kind of?
I think so, and it just feels
it's...
it feels great to even have your band name a part of not even a show that's that amazing, but a lineup. To even be able to share the stage with great bands, is a real privilege. So I'm really excited for it. But then again, as much as I love the big shows, I love those small. The walls are sweating and the energy is all there. So I like doing both sides of it.
And with a new record ready to go, is it gonna be plenty of new stuff this summer, or?
No, we definitely want to give since we've been off for a while, we want to give the fans that want to come see us. We want them to hear the songs they want to hear. So. I mean, I'm probably going to hop online and like, hey, what songs do you guys want to hear? But
awesome.
We definitely did that the last time we played Download, and, some of our fans were bummed about it. I remember reading a review, and it's like, well, there's a lot of new songs.
Right.
So we definitely don't want to overdo it with the new material, but
was that just a case of, like, playing the songs that lineup was able to do?
I think it was a case because we had the fill-in guy who didn't really know a lot of the old stuff, and then again, it's like, what's going on with our band? Let's just go promote the new stuff and hope for the best. And, yeah, it's been 18 months of just pulling your hair out in turmoil, but finally back and ready to get at it.
You can catch Escape the Fate on the Zippo stage on the Saturday of this year's Download Festival. Now, Bullet for My Valentine will be killing it on the main stage on the opening day of this year's festival. Here they are, getting to grips with your questions. Boom shakalak. Welcome back to the Lowdown with the guys from Bullet. Questions from the kids.
Joy.
First one's up. Doug Ray on Facebook asks, Matt, why'd you get your hair cut?
Because I was sick of spending like too much time of the day trying to brush it, wash it, and dry it.
How much?
Pain in the ass, man.
How much time does it take now? I have to ask because I have no hair, so it's kind of.
Oh, I'm done within like 2 minutes.
Sorted.
It's weird. I'm still getting used to it myself, but we'll see what happens. I might grow it back, might not. I don't know.
Cameron Timms asked, if you guys weren't in a band, what would you be doing?
We had this question the other day in New York.
Yeah, so I can answer yours probably.
Do you want to answer mine?
We used to be unemployed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Loads of Jeremy Kyle.
But yeah. Start smoking. Yeah. Smoking and getting my teeth all really nasty. Oh, my baby.
Me, I don't know. Probably just some normal job, like I did before the band got signed.
What did you do before the band got signed?
Just various retail jobs, just working in shops and stores and stuff like that.
What was the worst one? Where did you get the most customers?
My worst ever job, man. This is hideous. I lasted like 1 hour.
Right.
And it was a temporary job because I was unemployed and on my ass because of our band.
Yeah.
Sacrificing all that because of it, but it's paid off. It was at South Wales Police Headquarters, putting leaflets in envelopes.
Was it?
That was my job.
I could even do that job.
Did it have a title? Professional envelope
sender.
Pamphlet.
An envelope filler.
Imploder.
Pamphlet.
So I just come to the reality of what the hell am I doing here? And I just walked out. So no money's worth it.
No pamphlets were stuffed into envelopes that day.
No.
It's a sad day for Wales in general. Ben Grattan asked, Matt, will there be any more Axwing stuff?
I'd like to think so. Obviously, the nature of that beast is a lot more difficult than a normal band because everyone in that band is in a band.
Yeah.
So the timing and
waiting for the stars to align.
Yeah, there will be more stuff, but we'll have to wait and see.
He did say I could do a guest vocal on the next one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a death scream, like a.
Oh, really?
After you Rob Halford.
Oh, my Rob Halford. It's too early in the morning for my Rob Halford.
Oh, really?
After about 2 pints of beer and I'm there for my Halford.
About 2 o'clock in the morning at Download, I'm going to ask you about that.
Yeah. My Halfords are good.
The best question to be sent in by Claire Simpson. What's your favourite dinosaur?
Oh, I actually know. My little boy, who's 2.5 right now, is obsessed with dinosaurs. So I actually know a lot of dinosaur names I never knew a few weeks ago. Like Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
That's his favourite. There's Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Iguanodon,
I didn't know Iguanodon. Iguanodon's not in Jurassic Park, so I had no idea.
T-Rex, Velociraptor. This can go on.
Iguanodon sounds like a band.
It's almost like they know. They're hanging outside. Claire Simpson's hanging outside your window. Bort? Is that really your name? Bort? Is that a name? B-O-R-T. Anyway, sorry, Bort. Bort's Foster asks, have you ever considered undertaking anger management based on the Temper Temper video, I would imagine?
No, personally, I've got a really long fuse. I've never in my life lost my I get angry and off, but I've never completely lost my mind.
Apart from punching Jay in the arse at Download.
Punching Jay in the arse. I was lucky that he was up on a rise and his face wasn't like turned to me, otherwise it would have been in his mouth.
Ashley Milner asks, is there anywhere on the planet is there anywhere on the planet you haven't done a gig that you would like to do a gig?
Yeah, we haven't been to China. I'd like to do a gig in China.
You should do the documentary like Wham as well.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, we've been to we've been to pretty much everywhere that you'd want to go, I guess. So I can't think of anywhere off the top of my head that I'd like to go.
India. We haven't been to India yet.
India.
I've heard it's nuts out there. The Lamb of God guys were like, it's bananas. Jason Paul says, who's the Joker of your band?
It could be any of us, really.
Yeah, I think we all have our moments. If there was if I had to pick one, it would probably be Jay.
Jay, right. Definitely, yeah.
But then he's always the one that gets the jokes paid in the most as well. So I don't know, because with
you leave yourself open.
Yeah, he's the mischief of the band, but we always pick on him. So last one in, first one out.
Rob Horseman asks, what's your favourite chocolate bar?
I have a variety. Anything by Cadbury's. I do actually like a Yorkie.
That's kind of the most masculine of all answers. That's the most heavy metal answer you could have given.
I like a one now and then. Yorkie.
Yeah.
I like a Ripple.
I like it. You kind of that's in the bath job. Yeah, is a Ripple.
It's velvety.
Yeah.
And a little crumb falls on your lip and you go. Oh.
That's steady, man. Jesus, this goes out in the daytime.
Yeah.
Last question by Scott Martin. What's your favourite song to play live?
At the moment, for me, we haven't played for a while, but on the last cycle, it was probably Pleasure and Pain off our last record, Fever. Just got a really good kind of tempo and really good swagger as a guitar player. That's one of my favourites to play,
yeah. Anyone I don't mess up.
Yeah.
At least two.
Yeah. So two.
Amazing, all two of them. Right, cheers for your questions. But it's My Valentine. Oh yes, here it is. It's the highlight of the show. It's What Would Bruce Do time. What would Bruce do? Yes, this week we asked the singer of one of the biggest bands of all time whether he'd like to talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader. I just don't know, Bruce. Would you rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader? Right, while Bruce mulls over that very difficult decision, we'll go to an ad break. Which do you think he goes with out of breathing like Darth Vader or talking like Yoda? Hit us up on Twitter now at ScuzzTV and the hashtag WWBD. The answer will be coming up right after the break. See you after that. Welcome back to the final part of the Lowdown, the official download show with me, Bees. Now, you've been banging your head off the wall all the way through the ad break about whether Bruce would rather talk like Yoda or breathe like Darth Vader. Here's what Bruce would like to do.
Niki Lauda.
What would Bruce do? Now, we're not going to lie, we had to Wikipedia to find out who Niki Lauda is, and quite what a 1970s Formula One champion and aviation entrepreneur has to do with the question we just asked is anyone's guest. There's probably a really smart link, but we're too stupid to get it. Iron Maiden will be bringing their Maiden England madness to Donington Park, or Castle Donington if you please, on the Saturday night of this year's Download Festival. Right, it's that time where we hand the show over to you for your shout-outs and requests, so let's get on with it. Ryan MMI Thompson wants to give a shout-out to himself, a bit self-centred, Jake Gamble and Andrew Burns, the Download Virgins, V-Plates coming off this year at Download Festival. Tim Thunderbolt Martyr wants to give a shout-out to his mum, who has a day ticket for the Sunday because Rammstein and Airborne are her two favourite bands. Round of applause, mum. Sophie Jane George is Gypsy of the Week this week, who wants to say hi to any random stranger who can get her a ticket to Download Festival because she can't afford it and has no one to go with. Sorry. Shane Erin Elvis wants to give some love to Fearless Vampire Killers from their mate on the other side of the world. We'd like to echo those sentiments because the band had their van broken into this week and had their merch money nicked. So we're going to show you some Lowdown love. Here's the Fearless Vampire Killers with Diamond Days and Crimson Dust. Right, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week where we'll have to get our bleep machine ready to talk to Ben and Danny from Asking Alexandria and the lads from Heaven's Basement. Remember, downloadfestival.co.uk. Get in there to get your tickets. The festival's sure to sell out. You can get weekend and day tickets. Don't say we didn't warn you. Till then, see you next week. We'll see you next week where we'll get our bleep machine ready to talk to... Olivia O'Connell wants us to play Rise for it. All right, we'll be returning after the break, but... that word. Yep, that'll do.